O Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. Thus, until I achieve Buddha, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached by the merit of generosity and other perfections. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until Bodhi is reached by the merit of generosity and other perfections. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until Bodhi is reached by the merit of generosity and other perfections. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. Bajra Samaja, Bajra Samaja, Bajra Samaja, protectors of all sentient beings without exception, deities who vanquish The ruthless hordes of Maras, knowers of everything as it is, Bhagavans and your retinues, please come here. Argam padyang pushpe dupe aloke kende Nivede Shabda Pratija Soha. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure realm, whatever slight virtue that may have been gathered through prostrating offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and beseeching, I now dedicate to complete Bodhi. Page 3 of the Mahamudra manual. So having found a quiet place, a secluded place, sit down on a comfortable cushion with legs crossed, in the Vajra posture if possible. Then straighten the spine, place your hands in the gesture of meditative equipoise, holding that below your navel with the tips of your thumbs lightly touching. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Let your gaze fall beyond there. Let the tongue lightly touch the upper palate, leave the teeth and lips in their natural position. Then let breath flow comfortably. By relaxing your inhalation and exhalation of breath little by little, without exerting any specific effort, breath begin to exhale and inhale just as it is. You should reflect on the difficulty of obtaining the freedoms and advantages. Reflect on impermanence and death. Gain confidence in the unmistaken nature of karmic cause and effect. And recognize the faults of confused existence. Faults of wandering purposelessly in cyclic existence in samsara. And come back to the beginning point of recognizing what a great opportunity we have now that we have this human life with the freedoms and advantages. Now is the time to become free. Now is the time to become free not only for ourselves, but that by becoming free, we can free others. Then at the bottom of page 5, I go for refuge in the three jewels and will practice the meditation and recitation of Bhagavan Vajrasattva. You are the idam above your head on the full moon. This Hung and Vajra instantly transform into Bhagavan Vajrasattva. Its exalted body is white like the peak of a snow mountain. Touched by the rays of the sun, his legs are crossed with his two hands. The right holds a vajra at his heart, and the left holds a bell resting on his hip. He is adorned with various jewel ornaments at his heart center. In the middle of a moon, this is a Hung surrounded by the 100-syllable mantra. From this Hung, light rays emanate, clearing the obscurations of sentient beings. Streams of elixir are invoked from the hearts of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They dissolve into the Hung. From there a stream of elixir descends, flows through his body, emerging from the tip of his right big toe. The stream enters the crown of your head, and all the collections of misdeeds, obscurations and transgressions from beginningless samsaric lifetimes are washed away like dirt by water, and exit from the lower orifices of your body. The stream of elixir fills you from below, swirling upwards, then focusing on the Hung surrounded by the mantra. At the heart of the Bhagavan, recite the mantra. Recall the four powers and how by relying the four powers we can purify, we can clear these obscurations, especially obscurations with regards to breaking, damaging the individual liberation vows, the Bodhisattva resolve, and the secret mantra samayas. Because these are the precepts of training directly related to the path, and so damages to this are the most immediate obstacles to our ability to progress on the path. Om Bhadra Sadhasamaya Manabalaya Bhajastada Denobadita Denobima Sudakami Supagam. Sarvasya Demabhaja Savakamasu Jami Jaram Zirangurong, Om Bhagavan Savanaragata Pesamo, Majapasamo, Mahasamaya Sadam, Mazada Samaya Manabalaya, Madira, Chiram Zirangurong, Om Bhagavan Savanaragata Pesamo, Majapasamo, Mahasamaya Sadam, Mazada Samaya Manabalaya, Bajara Sada Samaya Manabalaya Bazada Denobadida Denobazan Bajara Sada Samaya Manabalaya Bajara Sada Samaya Bajara Sada Samaya Manabalaya Bazar Sada Denobadida Denobazan De dome mo so dome mo so dome mo and dome mo so dome mo. Allora dome mo so dome mo so dome mo. Subukayo me mo ano dome mo so dome mo so dome mo so dome mo so dome mo. How mo so dome mo so dome mo so mo so to. Umba so dome mo ano ba ya. Sudokayo me mo subukayo me mo ano dome mo so dome mo so de dome mo so dome mo so dome mo so Basra Santa Samayama the Palama and the Madina de la Masala Sumay and the Dome was a Basra Santa Samayama the Palama and the Madina de la Masala Sumay and the De dome was a doga memo, Suboga memo, and the Dome was Bazara Sato de Nobody de Memo, Sudoga Memo, Suboga Memo, and the Bazara Sato Samaya, Mandubalaya, Bazada de Nobody de Memo, Sudoga Memo, Suboga Bazara Sato de Nobody de Memo, Sudoga Memo, Mahasamaya Sato. I am ignorant and bewildered. I have transgressed and broken my samayas. O Guru Protector, grant me refuge. The Bhagavan grants his assent. You should then have faith that he responds with, child of the family, your broken samayas, negativities, and obscurations are clear. Now Guru Vajrasattva dissolves into light and enters you from the Brahma aperture at the crown of your head. And in that moment, instantly, you take on the form of Guru Vajrasattva, becoming inseparable from the exalted body, speech, and mind of Guru Vajrasattva. Then rest in meditative equipoise. Consider the meaning of this union of appearance and emptiness. Lightly recall teachings on how emptiness appears, appearances are empty. And this is planting the seeds for cultivating the natural state Mahamudra in the fourth part of this fivefold Mahamudra. clearly and vividly appearing as in the form of Vajrasattva, at the same time knowing that there isn't an essence, empty of essence, yet appearing vividly precisely because it's empty of essence. Then keeping this form of Vajrasattva, imagine in the space in front, we invite to the space in front Guru Vajradhara. In front of Guru Vajradhara is Idam Chakasamvara, co-emergent, Lord and Lady, Heruka and Varahi in union. To the right of Guru Vajradhara are the 1,000 Buddhas. Behind are all the precious Dharma texts, in particular the Perfection of Wisdom texts. And to the left are the great Sangha, the great Bodhisattvas, great Arahats. And all the spaces in between are all the Dharmapalas, Dakinis. And then going upwards from Guru Vajradhara are all the Gurus of the lineage. Recalling the qualities of these objects of refuge, in admiration of these qualities and wanting these qualities to manifest in our own hearts, in our own minds, in our own lives. We offer all the things that we are currently attached to, currently holding us back, currently that we're entangled with, all the things that we think are so wonderful and that we habitually have become reliant on, addicted to, even all of that, we now place on the mandala plate with Mount Meru in the center, extending from Mount Meru on the 4 sides of the 4 continents, the sun, the moon, and everything that we desire, everything that we enjoy, whether it's sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or thoughts, all of it, we put onto this mandala, and wholeheartedly we offer them. We give them up, and in exchange, we pray for the Buddha qualities to manifest in our lives. At the bottom of page 11, the this ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land, and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, Idam deities, and you, noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. O Gurus, Idams, and noble three jewels, I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land, and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, Idam deities, and you, noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. O Gurus, Idams, and noble three jewels, I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land, and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, Idam deities, and you, noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. O Gurus, Idams, and noble three jewels, I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. Then now dissolve the field of accumulation into yourself. At this point, even yourself in the form of Vajrasattva dissolves. And then rest in the profound meaning of inseparability. Inseparability between the objects of accumulation, the field of accumulations, Guru Vajradhara, surrounded by all the objects of refuge, and the pristine nature of your mind, the Vajra body, speech and mind, inseparable. Also the inseparability between appearance and emptiness, as pointed out at the end of Vajrasattva practice. At the bottom of page 13, the special preliminary has 3 sections: cultivating loving kindness and compassion, and then on the basis of this powerful force, of unbiased, fully developed loving kindness and compassion, we generate bodhicitta. As our precious Lord said, if the steed of love and compassion does not run for the benefit of others, it will not be rewarded by gods or humans. Attend earnestly, therefore, to this foundational attitude. Loving kindness in particular, we cultivate by remembering with gratitude the kindness that others have shown us, and how good it is to be on the receiving end of kindness. All the small little acts of kindness, big sacrifices that others have given of their lives, of their time, of their love to us. Recognizing that, and on the basis of igniting that feeling, and by analogy, if we like that feeling, all beings also like that. All beings also become so comfortable when they are on the receiving end of kindness. Our time here is very brief, very short. Is this going to be a story of repaying kindness, which is a choice? Or is this going to be a story of exacting vengeance? Very strong words, of course, exacting vengeance. But that is essentially the other choice. Whether you subtly say, and this person has done this to me, they deserve this, in a very subtle way, or in the way that dramatically, the movies about the Vikings, with the axes and chopping away. Essentially, it comes from the same place, Are we here to repay kindness or to exact vengeance? These are both choices, and both you could justify, for sure. But what are you going to choose? Which choice will free your heart? You decide, Yes, of course, the heart is stubborn. Still wants to, count all the wrongs that this person, even persons we don't know their names, have done to us, to me. Well, that's one choice. And can you justify? Logically, I'm sure you can. I'm sure I have done it myself. But what is the result? Oh, painful. But when we genuinely choose repaying kindness, then, it can only be freeing. It frees the heart. The most effective cause of bringing forth, generating compassion is to precisely look at those that we cannot forgive and we cannot let go so easily. We want to settle our scores and try to see how they are suffering. These mothers of ours are suffering. So much suffering that they even cause harm to their own children, which on some deeper level, they absolutely don't want to. They absolutely feel terrible, but they are so powerless. How pitiable these mothers of ours. How pitiable these mothers of ours. See, to feel this way towards, to feel this way, right, towards those who harm us, meaning those who have power over us, is then genuine, to really feel this way. To feel towards those who are weaker than us, oh, how pitiable you are, how pitiable you are. Oh, that's easy, And maybe a little insulting, you could say. A little kind of belittling. Oh, how sorry, how pitiable you are. Oh. So the best object to really train in compassion is to see how these mothers who harm me, how pitiable. How soon can they get out of this mess, this resentment, this feeling of not having a choice, this inability to let go? We look at that again and again and give rise to compassion. Then with love and compassion, we move in the direction of Buddhahood. Page 20. All enemies who bear hatred towards me, and all of us obstructors who harm us, and the mandala of Mara, the dark forces that create disharmonious conditions and obstruct the attainment of liberation and all-knowingness, may all sentient beings, as numerous as space, especially our father and mother, those not yet liberated from the ocean of suffering that is samsara, be liberated. Those not yet freed from the bondage of defilements, be freed. Those who have not yet found rest in the Shravaka vehicle or Pratyeka Buddha vehicle, be brought to rest, and those who have not yet fully transcended suffering, I will lead them to completely transcend suffering through the Mahayana. Now page 23 for the action bodhicitta vow. Until I reach the heart of awakening, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. For as long as I live, and from now until this time tomorrow, I will take into my experience this Mahayana profound path of the union of the creation and completion stages. On page 25, creation stage has two parts, cultivating the Idam deity and cultivating the Guru. As our precious Lord said, if with one's body the king of deities exalted forms, the stronghold of the unchanging ground is not seized, the retinue of Dakinis will not assemble. Attend earnestly, therefore, to this body as Idam. Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swabhava Shuddho Hang. Recall the 5 manifest awakenings, the manifest awakenings of emptiness, followed by the manifest awakening of the seed syllable, the sun and moon seeds first, then the manifest awakening of the seed syllable, followed by the manifest awakening of the symbol, and then from there, the manifest awakening of a fully formed, perfect Buddha form, in this case of co-emergent Chakkasamvara, the union of Heruka and Varahi. Think that all phenomena are by nature completely pristine, the emptiness of apprehended and apprehender, only mind. See how everything really is merely mind, only mind. Without mind, none of this matters. Without mind, none of this has any meaning. So at the end, the arbitrator and where this happens and how this happens, all of this is merely mind, only mind. And this mind cannot be grasped. It's not a thing. This mind, when explained further, is empty of essence. Although empty of essence, it appears vividly as mind, as projections of mind. It really, on some level, is as simple as this. But of course, this simplicity is tricky. We have become so complex, so sophisticated, that this simplicity we overlook. And this overlooking of this simplicity has resulted in the Buddha having to teach the 84,000 dharmas, in which every single one of these 84,000 works as part of a whole, as part of one single path to achieving Buddhahood, which then Lord Mahamudra, based on the instructions of the incomparable Dakpo Rinpoche Gampopa, then Lord Mahamudra synthesized all of these 84,000 into the Fivefold, which he then taught to Kyopa Jigten Sungan in particular, but not limited to. Other of his disciples also receive, others of the disciples of Mahamudra also received this instruction of the Fivefold, but in particular he gave to Kyopa Jigten Sungan, and as a result, Kyopa Jigten Sungan widely taught this to all his students, so that the main path of practice in the Drigung Kagyu is known as the Fivefold Mahamudra, which presents a systematic way, a comprehensive way of practicing Mahamudra. Here in this system of the Fivefold, what is later on called Sutra Mahayana, Sutra Mahamudra, and mantra, secret mantra Mahamudra, and essence Mahamudra, they all come together as one system here. So in Drigung Kagyu, we don't divide Mahamudra into you can practice Sutra Mahamudra, you can practice secret mantra Mahamudra, you can practice essence Mahamudra. In this Fivefold path, all three are blended into this one system. This is said to be the essence, the very essence of the sutras and the tantras. Within the state of emptiness, your own mind arises in the form of the syllable Hong, from which light radiates. From Yam comes a mandala of wind, from Ram a mandala of fire, from Vam a mandala of water, and from Lam a mandala of earth. Upon that from Sum comes Mount Meru. In nature the four precious substances. Upon that from Pam comes a multicolored lotus. Upon that from Hong comes a cross Vajra set on the multicolored lotus. From the vowels comes a moon, from the consonants comes a sun. In the center of that light radiates from the letter Hong, clearing the obscurations of all beings and transforming them into the host of deities of Chakra Samvara. The light then gathers back and absorbs into the Hong, melting as bodhicitta. From this complete transformation in a single instant, you are Chakra Samvara. His body is dark blue, pure and luminous, like the color of a stainless sky. He has one face and 3 eyes, with fangs slightly bared. His left leg is bent and pressing on the left ear of Black Bhairava, and his right leg is extended, pressing between the breasts of Red Kalaratri. With his 2 hands holding a vajra and bell, he embraces the consort. His head is adorned with a cross vajra and a top knot of matted hair, tied with silk ribbons, beautified with a wish-fulfilling jewel. On the left side of his head, he is adorned with a crescent moon. His forehead is adorned with a garland of vajras and 5 dry skulls. A hanging garland of 50 fresh heads is strung on human intestines. He is adorned with the 6 mudras and wears a tiger skin skirt. He possesses the 9 dramatic sentiments: amorous, heroic, repulsive, humorous, wrathful, terrifying, compassionate, majestic, and peaceful. In his embrace is the consort Bhagavati, red in color with 1 face and 3 eyes. Her fangs fully bared, her hair is loose. She wears a crown of 5 dry skulls and a hanging garland of 50 bone ornaments and a girdle of bone ornaments. From below comes the tinkling sound of bells. With her 2 hands, the right holds a 5-pronged vajra handle cutter, and the left holds a skull cup of blood, with which she embraces and offers to the Lord. She is adorned with the 5 mudras, naked and in inseparable union with the Lord. By the symbolic action of blazing rays of light from the Hong at his center, the hosts of deities of the Chakkasamvara Mandala are invited from their natural abodes. And these are the wisdom beings that we invoke and bring here to dissolve into the Samaya being that we have visualized, the container that we have prepared. Out of our own body and mind, we have transformed our body and mind into this container called the Samaya being. Then we invite the wisdom beings, the actual deities and mandalas of Jagasamvara, to come to now dissolve into the Samaya being. But before that, we delight them with the offerings, with the 16 goddesses, offerings of the 16 goddesses on page 80. Om Bajra Vine Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Vamshe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Medange Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Muraje Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Ha She Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra La She Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Gite Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Nritye Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Pushpe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Dupe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Dipe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Gende Hong Hong Pe Om Rupa Bajra Hong Hong Pe Om Rase Bajra Hong Hong Pe Om Sparshe Bajra Hong Hong Pe Om Dharma Dhatu Bajra Hong Hong Pe. Go back to page 29. Having made outer and inner offerings, recite Ha Hong Bam Ho, thereby hooking, drawing in, binding, and pleasing them, making them one taste. So the wisdom beings and the Samaya beings have now become one and inseparable, fully co-emergent Jakasamvara, Lord and Lady, are now present. It's also, in essence, your own pristine mind. The emptiness aspect, in particular, is Lady Varahi. The skillful method or compassion aspect is Lord Heruka. Bless your crown with your throat with and your hearts with Hum. Again from the Hong light radiates, inviting the 5 families with their retinues. Now offerings of the 16 goddesses to the 5 Buddha families who are here to confer empowerment. The 4 empowerments, which is the vase empowerment. When the elixir poured into us reaches the crown center, that's when we take the vase empowerment. When it reaches the throat center, we take the secret empowerment. Reaches the heart center, we take the wisdom knowledge empowerment. Reaches the navel, we take the 4th empowerment, the word empowerment. Before that, once again, we make the following offerings. Om Bajra Vine Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Bamshe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Mridange Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Muraje Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Ha She Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra La She Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Gite Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Nritye Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Pushpe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Dupe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Dipe Hong Hong Pe Om Bajra Gande Hong Hong Pe Om Rupa Bajra Hong Hong Pe Om Rase Bajra Hong Hong Pe Om Sparshe Bajra Hong Hong Pe Om Dharma Dhatu Bajra Hong Hong Pe. Back to page 30. Having Having made inner offerings, pray, may all you Tathagatas bestow empowerment. Having prayed thus, they bestow empowerment with Om Sarva Tathagata Abhishekata Samaya Shriye Hum. Now, as the elixir is being poured into the body, this is when we take the 4 empowerments. Again, reaching the crown center, we take the vase empowerment. Reaching the throat center, we take the speech empowerment, secret empowerment. Reaching the heart center, we take the mind empowerment, the wisdom knowledge empowerment. Reaching the navel center, we take the 4th empowerment, the Mahamudra empowerment. Your entire body is filled with wisdom elixir. The excess liquid gathers firmly on top of your head, and Akshobhya seals your crown. Now remember the main trunk of Idam practice, which is to train in refining clarity, recollecting purity, and stabilizing divine pride. Cultivate clarity, recollect purity, stabilize divine pride. Then at your own pace, whenever you want to switch, you can switch to the mantra recitation with the accompanying visualization for recitation that Gyalpa Rinpoche taught in his pith instructions for the co-emergent Chakasamvada. When you have completed however number of mantras of Heruga, then do 3 mantras at least of Varahi at the end. And this is on page 33, the heart mantra of the lady. Om Vajra Barojani Hong Hong Pe. Then from the glorious Guhya Samaja Tantra, it says, just as breath upon a mirror completely dissolves. So this is referring to how, I'm sure all of us have seen this, experienced this. If you breathe onto the surface of a mirror or on a glass, your breath leaves this condensation onto the mirror. And then the way that dissolves is it dissolves pulling inwards. So that's what is referring to here. Just as breath upon a mirror completely dissolves, so does the illusory net dissolve into the all empty clear light. The illusory net here is referring to your entire visualization of this universe, being the pure land of Chakkasamvara. The beings are all deities of the mandalas of Chakkasamvara. You are at the center of the mandala as Lord and Lady. All of this dissolve, pulling back in. So does the illusory net dissolve into the all empty clear light. And rest in that. Remain in that. If you want the more detailed dissolution, from the light from the heart absorbs the entire animate and inanimate universe. Dissolve it into yourself. Yourself as Lord and Lady dissolve into the Hung at the center of the heart. The Hung in turn dissolves. The bottom part of the Hung, which resembles a hook, dissolves into the main body of the syllable. The main body of the syllable dissolves into the head into the crescent moon, the moon into the drop into the nada. This nada is this squiggly top at the drop. And this nada becomes as subtle as 100,000th part of a hair tip. And look at its essence. Practice single taste and rest, having cut off all hopes and fears. So how I'm hoping, what we're doing with this daily practice, what I'm hoping that this accomplishes is actually that not so much, making any claims that, we have done the Fivefold Mahamudra, but that I feel that this is a more conducive way, although it takes a lot of commitment. So I am appreciate, the commitment that you are putting in to learn to have a taste of this system of practice. Then the idea in my mind is, once you have a taste of what this is, then you will be inspired to do even more focused practice of the Fivefold Mahamudra. And that may mean, going through each part in a more focused way. And that would entail, making effort to do short retreats. Then maybe short retreats become longer retreats. Because, truthfully, if you don't do that, then it's partly just kind of kidding yourself, kidding others. If you don't do a more focused, this is very advanced, actually, and many of us, we got involved, in Tibetan Buddhist practice or in Buddhist practice. You're not exactly doing what common lay people do. These types of practices are actually in the old country, so to say, traditionally, it's not seen as something that people could do. But at the same time, people are also not necessarily walking around thinking, "Oh, enlightenment this lifetime, I want to be enlightened," But we sort of have that thought, but then when it comes to the kind of focus and commitment it needs, we are often like, I don't know. So wherever you are able to do these retreats, sometimes it's basically your home, But of course, if you live with other people, then that becomes harder, more complicated. Then you have to go somewhere else to do it. So there are places that can support this, and I'm sure we're building this forest hermitage here. There will be one place, one context that you can also do this kind of retreat in a less hurried way. One way of saying focused, and maybe that's sometimes a little intimidating. One way of saying focus is to say less hurried. You have more leisure now. Rather than seeing retreat as, when I go there, this I cannot do, that I cannot do, this I cannot do, that I cannot do. It's more like, when I go there, I don't have to do all these other things. How leisurely. Even till now, in the Tibetan, Nepali, Bhutanese context, for many of them, going to do this retreat, to them is something that they find to be very desirable, because they're like, I don't have to deal with all these other things. And mostly they are coming from the monastic ranks, people who are in the monastic system who go and do these types of retreats. And for them too, it's like, because they live with people all the time, constantly, monastery is communal living. To be able to do a period of retreat, it's like, I'm getting away from all of that. Don't have all these duties I have to do. So it's actually seen as, How pleasant, to be away from all of this, and to be able to, in a non-hurried way, practice this, and then build up momentum, build up, strength, build up, build up, build up until yourself, you are motivated to do it intensely, which is such a treat, And so we have to begin to think of, doing retreats not as someone's requirement on us, or like, oh, some kind of hard work someone is putting on me, or ultimately, oh, the Buddha wants me to work hard. No, I think we should try to look at it. We should develop and look at it as, a way to have the leisure, have the wonderful environment of, oh my gosh, all those things I had to do, now I can put aside, and I can go for 1 week, 3 days, 5 days. Or if you're doing it at home, you say, oh, this weekend, oh, so good. No need to tell everybody, not available this weekend. Oh, so good. Yeah, so anyway, we will continue this. This week, let's see, this week, Thursday and Friday, we will not meet. This week, Thursday and Friday, we will not meet. Some of us are busy with Thanksgiving, and some people here may be traveling or having visitors come. And so Thursday and Friday, we will not meet. And we will continue after Wednesday. We will continue the following Monday. There will be, just to anticipate, some interruptions. December 3rd to the 8th, I'm going to Guatemala to lead a retreat on Chakasambhara. And then January 1st to 12th, I will be in Peru. Now that may not be an interruption, that we may be able to continue. Maybe 1 or 2 days interruption and then continue. I can do it from there. Then somewhere early February, I am going off to Asia. A couple of things that I'll do there. And that time, there might be a period of interruption. But that, if you are disciplined, what you can do is to go back and review all the recordings. So to keep the continuity, so that when I come back at the end of March, early April, we can not lose the momentum, So this is the schedule for this program as we look forward, look ahead and see what's coming up, okay? So now let's do dedication. Dedication is on page 78. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by me in the entirety of samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtues, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Bodhi. Changchu Semcho Rinpoche Ma Ge Banam Ge Gyurji Ge Ba Nyam Ba Me Ba Yang Gong Ne Gong Du Bel War Shu.
Thank you, Rinpoche La.
Bye bye. See you.
Bye.
Gracias, Rinpoche.
Bye bye.